Hello, how's the volume? How am I versus the game? Am I too quiet? I'm probably too quiet. Alright, that's easy to fix. Alright, how's this? Is this better? Cool. I have so many knobs. I just gotta find the ones to pick. Alright, get out of here starting soon. I'm not starting soon anymore, I'm starting now. Alright, so just so you know, this runs in a tiny window for me, so it should be good. But I might miss text. Actually, hold on. There, now I can actually see chat while I'm playing. That is an improvement. Alright, so Fantasy Maiden Wars. It's a Toho game, a fan game, that is very much along the same systems as Super Robot Wars. Was originally released as 4 different games over the course of about 10 years, where the graphics steadily improved and the mechanics steadily improved. Then they were collected in the complete box, which was all of them under the same mechanical system. And that came out, 3-4 years ago, I guess? And they tried they got it on Switch, they got it on PC, but it never had a translation. There were some fan translations of the first 2 and part of the 3rd one, although it didn't finish, and not the 4th one. And it turns out the reason for that, the fact that Complete Box never got one, is because they hired some of the people who had been translating the earlier ones and were working on Complete Box and just said, hey, you want to actually do it for money? And they all said yes, except one who they couldn't find. So now we have it in English. It comes out tomorrow. This is the first time any of the Fantasy Maiden Wars games have come out in English, officially. It doesn't say Complete Box, but this is Complete Box. It doesn't say Complete Box because we never got the incomplete one, so I guess they didn't want to confuse anybody. So we'll just start, and you get to start with your choice of 2 characters. You can start with Raimu, or you can start with Marisa. Mechanically, you do get both characters either way. You even get both upgrades either way. There are very few things that are unique to one to the other. The major difference is that all the root splits are set. So any root split Raimu is on, if you're playing Raimu, you have to do them. If you're playing Marisa, you have to do Marisa's. There are a couple other secrets that are easier or harder to get if you are one or the other. And there is one secret that I do not think it is possible to get on a new save file as Marisa. I think you have to do it either as Raimu or you get it automatically on New Game Plus. However, I don't actually want this secret, so I'm not going to get it. Even if I'm playing Raimu, I'm not going to get it. The secret is it takes one of the characters out of a battleship and makes them a distinct unit, and the character is not very good. I don't want them out of the battleship. Please stay in the battleship. If you are familiar at all with Toho, that is Accu. You can get Accu as a standalone unit. Accu is not very good as a fighter. We will actually see her several times over the course of this game. She just will not be permanently joining as an individual unit. She will be permanently joining as a sub-pilot. which is better. So mechanically, Raimu is all about speed. It says all-rounder. This is a lie. Raimu is extremely fast and not super damaging. And Marisa is all about power. And this is accurate. Marisa is all about power. We're going to be playing Marisa because I like Marisa better. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference because you do get all the characters in either case, except for Aku as a standalone unit. Most of the secrets are interchangeable. Just the one, I think. And you wouldn't get it till level 50 anyway. Stage 50. There's also something if you have a carryover from the fourth game, which I don't, and I don't know that it took the Japanese version anyway in English. So we're just going to play Marisa. And we're going to do just starting. So there are 4 difficulties. Normal is easy. I don't care what it says. It says normal. This is easy. Normal plus is normal. They have decided that they can't call easy easy. So easy is normal, and normal is normal plus. I'm actually going to be playing on hard because I like hard. This is actually going to be quite hard for about the first third of the game, and then it's going to settle down. There's also Lunatic. I'm not doing Lunatic. I'm sorry. I'm not that good. I am literally not good enough to do Lunatic. It involves, if you want to do Lunatic, you have to know how to do a lot of the grinding tricks. And I can't be bothered to do them. So we're going to do hard. Hopefully you can still hear me. I had to change the microphone again a little bit. So I'll be doing hard. But like it said, you can change it anytime. It says anytime. It's actually anytime between stages, but that's, close enough. Okay, Gensokyo, a remote region of an eastern land that has existed since antiquity. It has a long history, and its many annals do not chronicle its exact origins. In its olden days, it is said that yokai once ran rampant, and humans lived in fear. Roughly 500 years ago, the advancement of civilization threatened to shatter the balance between humans and yokai. The yokai sages took this threat seriously and proposed a solution. They established a boundary called the border of fantasy of reality and drew weakened yokai into Gensokyo, thereby maintaining equilibrium. I have to let the crawl a little further. There we go. But this period of stability was short-lived. With the rise of modern civilization, phenomena inexplicable by science became widely regarded as superstition. Their very existence denied, the yokai lasted vast amounts of power. With Gensokyo on the brink of fading, the yokai sages put forth another proposal. They would erect a border to separate Gensokyo from the outside world, a border between the common sense and the fantastical. The great Hacker Eye Barrier. Letting the crawl go a little further. With the creation of this barrier, all travel between Gensokyo and the world outside was cut off. The humans stranded inside and the surviving yokai developed their own independent culture. So, as a short summary, magical things come here because nobody believes in them in reality anymore. It gives them a safe place to be. Unfortunately, they mostly are extremely dramatic at each other. Or petty, or both. Over a century has passed since then. I wonder how fast forward goes. Oh, that's pretty cool. Summer, year 118. As the hot summer sun shines on Gensokyo, the first sparks are about to fly in what will be a long-ranging battle. Glad I finished that because there goes the text. So the Tengu are doing like a little war game. or they're fighting somebody. They'll dispatch anyone who isn't busy to try to fight somebody. They don't say who it is. I'm not going to read all the text because my voice will die. So Momiji is on patrol. We'll get to who Momiji is in a moment. Notori is another kappa. And she says that there's a big fuss going on, but she's got to leave. She doesn't say why. We don't get to know that yet. That's a secret. Because that night, a scarlet mist enveloped Gensokyo. And we don't care because we have a house. That is the least well taken care of house I have seen in a very long time. She has been working on magic to become a magnificent hero known throughout Gensokyo. But she figures before anyone will listen to her, she's got to deal with the Scarlet Mist. Normally that's Raimu's job to handle any weird shit that comes up. But Marissa figures if she can do it first, everybody will respect her. This is not true. Nobody is going to respect her. Nobody respects Raimu either. That's not true. Here's Notori again, except now she's nameless. She is lost. She wants to eat a mushroom. Marisa has taken her mushroom away because it's poisonous. Yes, Fantasy Maidens. We are playing Marisa. I think it's a little late. So the Kappa are very into tech. They borrow tech that comes into Gensokyo through various routes and fix it and build new stuff. Marisa has a stick. That's her tech. Notori is lost. Marisa thinks this is suspicious because of the red mist that comes her out. Although it's not really in the forest. The Forest of Magic is a weird place. You can tell because it's the Forest of Magic. Notori isn't really supposed to be here, but she says there's somewhere she has to go. But she's lost. Marisa's like, you got anything cool I can steal? Marisa is a notorious borrower of items. This will come up several times, mostly when people who she has borrowed things from catch up with her. Yeah, she has. She has stole the precious thing. Notori says something's going on Yokai Mountain. but she doesn't want to talk about it, and there's somewhere she has to go, which is a place called Corindo, which is a shop. And Marissa does know where it is because Marissa gets a lot of stuff from Corindo. Marissa is trying to figure out where the red mist is coming from, but she wants to pick up something from Corindo anyway, so she's going to take Notori with her. Aya is a Tengu. She runs the newspaper, and Momiji is does not run the newspaper. She is a guard. Yokai Mountain has been invaded, so they're kind of scouting. They were apparently fighting gods on Yokai Mountain. That's not too unusual in Gentokia that gods are around, because they are also supernatural beings that have been mostly forgotten or thought of as superstition. So there's several. Aya wants to write a newspaper article. This is not unusual. However, she's not allowed to tell anybody secrets. So she can't actually. Oh yeah, Momiji is a wolf rather than a what are they, crows? Crows or ravens? But she has just spotted a human and a kappa, which is slightly suspicious because there aren't supposed to be any kappa here. They're not supposed to be able to leave the mountain right now. Therefore, that is suspicious. Therefore, they're going to go check it out. Oh wow, this is a lot nicer than the original version of the stage. Notori's like, "Are we there yet?" She needs some special parts, some tech parts. She doesn't say what it is right now. You always want to borrow things that you want. But here's Momiji and Aya. Notori has not supposed to leave the mountain. Unfortunately, she did. I didn't get permission. That's fair. Aya is aware of who Marisa is vaguely. But she thinks this is really suspicious. So she's going to take photographs. This isn't what it looks like. I said Marissa really wants to handle the Scarlet Mist, which is weird. So Aya's going to run off and take some aerial photographs. And leave Momiji to do the work. And she wants Notori to come back. And yet, they said they were looking for the Shrine Maiden, and Marisa immediately thinks this is Raimu. But Notorious, Momiji is like, Notori, have you seen a suspicious Shrine Maiden that isn't Raimu? Nope, been lost. And since she refuses to come back, we're going to fight things. Why do I have to fight Momiji? People fight around here a lot. So victory is drive Momiji back, defeat is lose everybody, and there's a bonus for fighting 5 battles in focused mode. More on that in a moment. Yeah, I know how this works. So this is... Oop, wrong button. Okay. So this is our map. You can look at health bars. You can zoom. So a lot of this is going to be like Super Robot Wars. There's going to be several significant differences mechanically, which I'm going to talk about right now because I can. First of all, let me check something. Yes, you can see my cursor. Okay. So as you can see, like in Super Robot Wars, you have skills here. You have equip here. You have terrain, although there's no space terrain because they don't go to space on a regular basis. More on that later. Instead, the last one is night. It is not night right now, so it doesn't matter. As night works a little differently than the others. It modifies the other terrains when it's night. It comes up more than you'd think. You've got hit points. You've got MP instead of energy. You recover a little bit of your round. You have move and focused move. I'll explain that in a moment. You have mobility, you have armor, you have a size. The vast majority of characters are medium for obvious reasons. You have up here you have species, which several skills care about, and you have a cost. The way this game handles unit deployment, if you are over, if you have more characters than can be deployed, is that it gives you a total cost to spend, so that worse units don't take up as much space as more powerful units. Marisa as a protagonist is 2.5. This is fairly high. They range between, I'm going to say 1.5, but there's a few that go lower than that under special circumstances, so I think 4. But the one that's 4 is a special case. And you've got Nitori, who's all that except she's yokai rather than human, and her cost is only 2. Up here you have unique abilities. This is a special slot that you can only put a unique ability in, and unique abilities are by character. Everybody has unique ones, as you might expect by the name. These are... Oh wait, no, that's... Sorry, wrong one. That's here. Unique skills go here. So you've got Marisa here. You've got experience. You've got PP, which is something else you can spend. You've got shoot downs. You've got personality, which is will gain. You've got power, which is like will. You've got your spirits. You get 10 SP around. You've got your skills here. So she's got magician. She's got instinct. She's got P-hit. P-hit gives her more power when she hits. Instinct gives accuracy and evasion as her hit points go down. Magician increases a bunch of things on her character based on the level of magician. And then you've got this slot. This is the special slot. These are different for every character. She has Danmaku power level 1 right now. Between stages, you can swap between any of the unique skills you have learned for that character. And as I said, everybody's different, and some of them are very weird. This is where they put the ones that change how a character uses. Now, the ones in the first few stages are very simple. The complicated ones tend to come later, so we'll get into that a little bit more later. You've got stats, you've got range, you've got skill, you've got evade, accuracy, defense, and close quarters combat, which is the ones you'd expect. She has support attack, support defense, power damaged, and extending arm. Extending, I'm not going to do that every time, but extending arm lets her use items at things that are 2 spaces away rather than next to her. And she also has heal, which is repair. And then you've got attacks. You've got illusion. This is on Marisa. You have illusion layer. You've got witch ley line. Instead of flagging beam attacks, this one flags not beam attacks. This one's solid. S is solid. L is laser, and things can be neither if there's just general shots like magic missile is. You've got post move. You've got not post move. And you can see which ones are not good in water, which is most of them except magic missile. Oop, button. They've changed all the buttons. You'll notice that Notori, being a kappa, is really good in the water. She is water S, and her attacks all have bonuses in the water. Unfortunately, there's no water on this stage, so we don't get to really play with that. You've got crows here. Crows can output little Danmaku. We'll get to that in a moment. See that they've got the D next to them means they will emit some. Similarly, we'll get to focus in just a moment. So right now, we're just going to move forward. I think there's no time load on this stage. Yeah, there's no time. So we'll take our time. I have made Marisa land. She doesn't look landed, but that's just because she's sitting on her broom. I want them to... Thank you. I want them to take advantage of being in a forest next to each other because Notori has support. So enemies can emit Danmaku, which, when you're in it, reduces your movement, your evasion, and your defense. That's bad. But if you switch into focused mode, units will graze attacks instead of dodging. So if you, if something has like a 20% hit rate on you and you are focused, you have a 20% chance of just getting hit and taking full damage, and an 80% chance of being grazed for 20% damage. The amount of damage you take in graze is equal to the hit rate against you. So that sounds bad. It also slows you down. However, the big advantage is that it makes you immune to Danmaku penalties. You don't take any. So when enemies, they haven't really deployed any yet. On this particular stage, there's also a bonus for fighting in focus mode. So I'm just going to put them both into focus. Oh, I guess I'm not, because she can't get there in focus because she's slow. So here you can see that Marisa is doing slightly more damage because of her Yokai Buster, and it's doing slightly less damage. The number of the fires under here are a rough idea of how much damage it's going to do to you. If you see 3 of them and they're flashing or very bright red, I forget what color they are, it will kill you if they hit. You can use spirits here. I don't want to. You can select counterattack. You can evade. You can defend. You can... I would like to use magic missile. I could have her tank it. I think I will. I think I'll have Notori take it. Yokai Crow are not the most scary thing in the world. What do you want to tag with? Monster Cucumber? Sure. They'll probably get hit. And yes, everybody has their own theme. Some of the themes are going to be vaguely familiar. Some won't. Yeah, she just is a backpack full of cucumber missiles. That's just a thing that Kappa can have. You'll note that even though Marisa is in 2 overlapping Danmaku fields, she is not taking any hit penalties or evade penalties. I mean, she's still getting hit, but... Marisa is, as mentioned, the power character. So she is not super evasive to begin with. And you can see in this, each of them is defense minus 12, no evade penalty, and move minus 0.6. Fractions do add up as you move through more spaces, but they do stack. So in this area, it's defense minus 24 and move minus 1.2. So this is her focused. She can go 3 spaces because her focused ignores penalties. By unfocus, she has real trouble moving into the Denmark. And this is a major difference from like actual Super Robot Wars, is that you have to deal with Denmaku penalties. In this case, they will probably kill that crow together. So you should be focused. Oh, of course. I see my luck continues through multiple games. And no, we won't be watching all animations forever. As we see new attacks, I am going to display them. I'll occasionally play one just to swap the music for a turn. So points is money. And as mentioned, Notori has repair. She has heal. She can just do that. What spirit do you have? I forgot to check. So she has scan, she has focus, and she has guard. So she's already pretty set. Honestly, that's a good collection. Have we seen Extending Arm yet? No, we've seen Monster Cucumber. Extending Arm! Just punch them from all the way over there. Oh, we've seen Magic Missile plenty of times. We don't need to see it again. That ticking sound means that focus worked. That was a graze. We haven't seen Witch Ley Line, so I will animate that one. Monk, just run through them. I don't remember which attack which ley line is in the actual games, but yeah. So the bonus condition, the skill point, was to fight focused 5 times, and it gets you 10,000 points. All bonus conditions give exactly that in this game. So you don't really have to do them if you don't want to. Although early on, especially, they are very useful to do when you're broke. And when you're out of Danmoku, you can stop focusing. So you can just focus or unfocus here. Focusing puts the little dot over them. You can sort of see it. That's just a reference to the actual games, which do the same thing when you're in focus mode. Focus just kind of slows you down a little bit. It doesn't, so it's easier to pass through really tight bullets. It is an extremely useful tool if you are good at it. To be clear, I'm absolutely garbage at the actual Toho games. Like, I'm not good at them. So, it doesn't do me much good. But it does do some people good. So unfortunately, Marissa did get hit there. But she also leveled, which is nice. See, now they're putting up their Danmaku again. Alright. Focus, move in, heal. Probably which ley line? So the other thing with these particular Danmaku, the crows, they don't actually drop evade like a lot of Danmaku does. They only drop defense. Oh, you can unfocus, you can fly, you can heal. Hyper no slash. This is significantly less good, as I am now in her Danmaku and I didn't get to see what it did. And 3 fires is bad. I am having Notori support guard it. Notori doesn't have that many hit points left, so we'll see how this works. But you only have to get Momiji to half hit points to get her to run. It's her ultimate technique. Hitting the wrong character. Hyper no slash. It makes the symbol of for no. Which in Hiragana is this. I can't type it. Oh well. There we go. That's no. That's what her slash is making. So this stuff is attack. It's defense 15% down, evade 22% down, and move is half an extra space. That's not great. So we're gonna focus it. We're gonna. I'd love to do narrow spark, but narrow spark is weird because the range is 4. It's 4 to 6. But you can use Danmaku power, which increases the power, the cost of our next attack to grant more damage, and that's exactly what we're going to do because that's going to end the stage. Editori also got a level from healing her. So I'd like to use Danmaku Power 1. I'd like to use Magic Missile. And I'd like to use Gain, because if she crits, she'll probably actually kill her. She did not, but that's under half. So Marisa wants to know about the Shrine Maiden that isn't Raimu, and Momiji isn't telling her anything. She's just leaving. And Hattori realizes that she's in deep shit. Because she has left the mountain without permission, and then fought Momoji, and Marissa's trying to cheer her up by getting her stuff for her invention at Kurindo. Which is here. This is what Notori was looking for at the entrance to the Forest of Magic. This is like, I'm here. This is Renosuke. Renosuke is like the only guy in this game, I think. Yes. Barring, unnamed NPCs. There are a few people at the human village who are male. But other than that, just him. Everyone else is a girl. Marissa called Notori a friend, and Notori is surprised, but Marisa wants a snack. And also to pick up something she left with him, which he is not done with, because he told her 3 days ago to come back in a week. And surprise, surprise, linear time exists. So now Marisa's unhappy that she's going to get outsped by Raimu, who is also investigating the mist. Renosuke is trying to get it done faster, but he's not done yet. And Notori has found a cell phone, which Marisa has no idea what it is. Renosuke's so most people in Toho have like a superpower, and his is to identify what things do. Unfortunately, he has no idea how they do them, so he's pretty much not very useful. So he has identified that his cell phone can let you talk to people, but he has no idea how to do it. Tori, who is good at tech, does. She has found a virtual boy. Tori has not found what she's looking for because she's now looking at everything. Marissa's going home because it's night. And also Renosuke wants them out of his shop. So he has instead convinced her to go with Maurice's house. So Marissa has to get up early tomorrow to visit someone to ask about the mist. Notori, having nothing better to do, tags along. Uh, Apparently, the other magician can control multiple dolls at once. I wonder who that is. So he's going to fix the thing, and then we get to actually look at an intermission screen. I'm going to save the game. Can't stop me. All right, save button. So we have no extra units to change to. We could equip any items if we had any, although we don't. There are a lot of items, and they sort them very nicely for you, so you can find the ones you're looking for. Unfortunately, I don't actually have any yet, so you can EX upgrade, which is upgrade your stuff. I don't have any EX points. I do have 10 EX points. You can learn skills. So she has another unique skill, Notori. She has Supporter, which gives her an accuracy bonus to support and assist attacks. Or Marissa also has Hard Worker, which gives her 20% experience gained. At this point, I kind of want that, but I also kind of want Danmaku Power just to end stages faster. Because right now I have nobody that does damage but Marissa, because Notori is a support unit. Night. But you can buy a lot of stuff. Tipsy increases your starting power. I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm going to point out a few useful ones. Shotgunning gives you a bonus when you use ranged attacks at point blank. A lot of these you've seen before, almost certainly. You get a random dodge. If you are worse at skill than the enemies, you get an evasion bonus. You get streaming, which is what I'm doing. No, it's reduces the damage taken while grazing. Pattern type is counter. Cutback reduces the Danmaku penalties for being in it unfocused. She can't take blocking because she doesn't have parry or shield defense. You can get unfocused movement and focused movement. You do have to buy them separately. You buy all the P hits. Note that this one costs 0 because I already have it. If I take it off for another ability, it still costs 0 to put back on. They don't make you buy it again. You have Guard, Predict, Belief, which boosts your damage stats. You got Diligence, which gives you a bonus to all your defensive procs at high power. You've got Extend, which gives you a bunch of SP back when you hit max power. Ignore Distance, Ignore Size. Break Power Limit lets you go up to 170. MP Save, Ammo Save, SP up. Unique skills are gained only by leveling or story in a couple cases. So the only other one we have right now is Hard Worker. And you can just upgrade your units with money. We're going to be upgrading Marisa a little bit because Marisa is, as I mentioned, the only character I have that can do anything. So I'm just going to give her a little bit more armor, and a little bit more mobility, and a little bit more weapon. Actually, I'll hold off on the weapon. You can change your deployments for the next stage. In this case, I want to deploy both of them. So I move them into the deployment zone. I still have, as mentioned, I still have a lot of cost left over, but I have nothing else to spend it on. No other characters. If you have a New Game Plus, you can hold characters in from the last save, so you could theoretically have more. I do not. And you can do the library, which tells you all about characters. Would you like to know about characters? Would you like to know about any character ever? Because, boy, did I tell you a lot about every character ever. Like, if you don't know about a character, you can. You can find out. That's Marisa's. I'm not reading it out. But this is, it does have all sorts of information on characters. I haven't seen Notori's. You can listen to all the music tracks. There are some very good music tracks in this game. We don't have them yet. Also, some of them have very funny names. Wonder Day or Super Yokai Warhead Notori. I can just leave it on. There's a lot of tracks in this game. We got a scenario chart. I could theoretically do that faster, but I haven't seen any. You can also look at places like the Forest of Magic. Learn about magicians. Learn about Corindo. It was pretty short. Learn about Tengu. Learn about titles. All right, we'll do another stage. Where are we going? We're going to Murgatroyd Residence. That is Alice's house. I think there's a secret on this level, so I'm just going to check real fast. Yeah. That's easy. Dear Mom. Yeah. Alice is writing a letter. To who? Her mom. Do we know who her mom is? Nope. She's currently complaining about Marisa stealing books. So this is these are the three fairies. They are pests. They are not threats. Fairies are threats to basically nobody with any power at all. They are annoyances at best. They do have powers. One of them does light, one of them does sound, and one of them does... I don't remember what the other one does. They are treasure hunting. They're searching for mysterious treasure because it is fun. They have nothing else to do. Sunny is annoyed because she is a sunshine fairy, and the mist means it is not sunny. So she is feeling useless and tired. Unfortunately, mostly she thinks it's a good idea to start a prank. They're going to explore the creepy house. Ooh, spooky. Full of dolls. Creepy dolls that are cursed. They're going to steal one and use it to do things. Sunny is excited. Luna is not. Haunted house? There it is. Very haunted. Star has spotted somebody inside. Star thinks there's only one person inside who's talking to herself, which is creepy. Luna was supposed to be silencing them, but fell into the ditch. And it's just rescued her shoe from it. Unfortunately, they have been caught before they can prank or steal anything. So Sunny's excuse is that somebody put them up to it. Because they're the three definitely not fairies of light. So he says it was a black and white magician riding a blue room with lights and a book. And she has to steal the book. Sunny's just making shit up at this point. Sunny's usually making shit up. Unfortunately, they have accidentally described Marissa. She wears black and white and steals books. And Tori's like, is she going to come with us? And Marissa's like, yeah, I can make her tag along. Unfortunately, since they have just described Marissa and called her a thief who is forcing the fairies into doing stuff for her, Alice is not happy. And the fairies bail, or they want to bail. Except Star thinks it's fun now. So while the fairies are distracting, or while everyone is distracted from the fairies, they're going to sneak in and steal something. Marissa's house is very messy. So there are two ways to end. So if I had more characters, I could deploy them. I do not. The objective is reconcile with or defeat Alice. This is one of the stages you can convince on. And I am absolutely going to do that because you do get a permanent bonus for doing so. I'm also going to save it. Notori is going to teach you how to persuade people. And Marissa's like, yeah, I just beat her up. So Alice is another character who we will be seeing a lot of. She is the one that Marissa stole the precious thing from. And she is unusual because she has a better move focused than half. Her focus move is 4, while her regular move is 6. Better than half is unusual. She has Magician, same as Marissa. She has Precision, so her crits do more. She has MP save. She does more when she evades. And she is extremely accurate. Look at this. Her attacks, she has Kick, she has Doll Placement, and she has Artful Sacrifice. She also has a unique ability, which I can't do yet. In the original version of this game, there was a secret if you got up to Alice's house. That's not in this version, so I don't have to do that. So I'm just going to run right up. Just straight in. And not fight. The reason I'm not fighting is so I can persuade her, but she deploys dolls because she's a puppeteer. I don't actually want to hit her. There's Artful Sacrifice. Just blow him up. You can just punch down the dolls. It's fine. The dolls die easy. And they're like Pokemon. They can only yell their name. I can't believe I missed the doll. You know what? I'm just going to defend. And keep defending. I forgot how much damage these do. Holy shit. They are searching. They have found dolls. The dolls are not that interesting. Let's talk to Alice. Talking to Alice with Marissa, as opposed to beating her up, gives her a permanent friendship bonus. This lasts for the entire game. All 73 additional stages. It is not gainable on another level, so you may as well. It's permanent. Alice is vulnerable close in because she's puppeting 4 dolls at once. So if you grab her hands, she can't do shit. And now she's on our side. And the fairies are looting the place. They have stolen her pajamas. They have stolen her flower pot. They have stolen her coffee. They have stolen it all. It's pretty normal for fairies. It's more fairies. Okay, the victory here is defeat any of the 3 fairies. The skill point is to use her unique command. What she does is she gets dolls. She can make dolls. She has create doll Hurai. For 25 MP, she can spawn a Hurai doll, and for 40, she can spawn a Shanghai doll, which are tankier. Her unique ability is, of course, Shanghai doll. She can make Hurai dolls no matter what. The Shanghai is her skill. So you can do this. You can do, I want a Shanghai doll. And now you have a Shanghai doll. So Shanghai is size SS, low mobility, low armor, low movement, has support attack, and actually has a weapon. I don't believe Hurai has a weapon at all. This does not actually take your turn, so let's make a Hurai to check. Hurai doll, even lighter. So support defense. Oh, does have melee and self-destruct. I think I will not be using self-destruct. So this one has support attack. This one is support defense. The support defense one is going to go park by Notori, who is almost dead. The support attack one is going to move over here. And I do not want Notori to tank that. So there's a fairy. She's trying so hard. I already spirits. Mercy and focus. Having focus is always good. I'm never unhappy to see focus. So Danmaku comes from this fairy over here, this fairy down here, and I think that's Star. Yeah, Star Sapphire. So the fairies, special resistance is kind of just what bosses have. You can't reduce their power below 100, and they ignore certain status effects. Not all of them, just some. Star also has HP regen. She has predict, she has support attack, and she has some shitty weapons. Sunny Milk is the powerful one. I'm using power loosely because this is a fairy. She has a barrier, is the thing. She can cancel lasers because her power is light. She has instinct, she has prevail, and she has power evade, and she has very basic attacks as well. And then Luna Child is the last one. She has support, defense, and random dodge, which will almost always fire because your skill isn't very good. And also different attacks. She has bubble bullets, which is long range, which I guess is a thing. Like, I mean, I guess that's unique. I'm going to land her to get in the forest. Ow. Ow, I guess. Are you the one with support defense? You're the one with support defense. Fortunately, it's labeled. No, we'll just not. As mentioned, Alice is very, very bad at close range. She has kick, and that's it. Other than that, you better use doll placement or artful sacrifice, both of which have minimum ranges. Time for a break. What I'm trying to do is convince one of the fairies of light to get off their space, but they don't seem to want to. So we're gonna go in. She's gonna fly. She's gonna focus, and then realize she can't actually hit anyone. She's gonna fly. Can you get there focused? No. Well, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna remain focused, I think. You can get back there. You can heal. You can't heal yourself. I thought you could heal yourself. I guess you can't in this game. Oh no, she's shooting down the fairy. Except she's not actually shooting down the fairy successfully. Or the doll, rather. Jazzy. I haven't heard this version of her theme. I guess their theme, they usually share them. I like it. It's very jazzy. So it technically takes MP for her to spit out these dolls. It's less of an issue for her than it is for some people because both of her good attacks take ammo. Only kick takes MP and it takes like 4, so we don't care. That's not relevant. So the other thing is that this Statamaku does is increases the evasion rate. And that's usually from a boss. In this case, it would almost certainly be from Star Sapphire because he's the only one who has... In fact, I can see that it is because it highlights when I go over it. Thank you, upgrades between games. So we're just going to scoot over here and throw a bomb at... what's my accuracy? 29? 64. We're going to throw the bombs at Star. We're not going to throw them at... Sunny. I'll use focus. That's much nicer. What are you doing with my plant pot? What are you doing with my coffee mug? Whee! Grazed, so it does a little bit of damage, but not a lot. I mean, I guess we can just shoot down the ferry. That wouldn't hurt, yeah. Ouch. Release the cucumbers. This is going to be really funny. I wonder if Alice gets the experience for this. Nope. Shanghai gets the experience for that. You know what? Okay. I like all the battle quotes. There's a lot of them. And Alice commenting on not breaking the cup that got stolen. Drop another Shanghai. Put her in focus mode. Drop a Hurai. Put her in focus mode. Artful Sacrifice. Oh no, Star has decided not to fight back anymore. She's using Evade. She knows you can kill her. And get up to 51 at least. Whew. Better take it. Do you have spirits? No. What if I just kept running and left altogether? She looks so startled whenever she dodges. I apologize if you let me go. Yeah, so her power is to is to is to spot things that move. So you'd think that would make her really, really good at this, actually. Oh, she is attacking back. Ow. I don't want the dolls to move. Okay. Rip doll. Rip it. Oh, that one survived. Rip doll. Still good. 50-50. Flip coin. Didn't make it. Can she do it? Yes. Now the fairies are sad. Jam or pickled vegetables? Pick one. They were not banished to the depths of the jam jar. They're not actually quite small enough to get in a jam jar. Despite the jokes, fairies are fairly consistently displayed at like 2 feet tall-ish. Sonny, I don't think they say that. Marissa hits people a lot. That's just a thing. Everybody in Toho is fairly violent. Do you know anything about the red mist? Nope. I've noticed that it's red. Thank you. The scarlet mist is red. I'll put that right on my notes. Fairies are incarnations of nature, but they're not very smart and they're not very educated. Have you seen a shrine maiden? She was having a nap. A shrine maiden that's not Raimu? But there's only supposed to be one around, so they don't know who it is. There's been a weird human around recently, though. It was a maid. She went to the human village. Alice thinks it might be someone from Makai, but no. Maids are a rare species. Don't play any more pranks. That will last a few stages. So the human village is mostly humans. There's not hardly any yokai in it. So Notori was a little worried about coming in, but Marissa convinced her, or strong-armed her into coming. Alice does not want to come. So everybody asks her like 5 times over. I'm going to do the next stage, but I'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right, I'm back. Let's upgrade some units. What units shall I upgrade? Probably Marissa again. We'll be using Marissa a lot. Marissa, obviously, is the character I picked at the beginning of the game, which means I will never be without her. Because whenever the route splits, I will be on the route with her. So it is a fairly good idea to upgrade Marissa first. So let's give her a little bit more armor, and I guess some mobility. Maybe some hit points. Let's get some hit points. Delicious hit points. Unfortunately, I still don't have any items to put on. God, I love how sorted this list is. All right, let's go. Now we're in the human village. This is where the humans live. Unknown person likes coming to market. Unknown person, Sakuya. I hear you, I just don't want to yell. That's Maiden. We'll know about them. We'll learn about them pretty soon. They're shopping. Maiden said, if you're not feeling well starting tomorrow, you might not want to go outside, and then got cut off by Sakuya. Slightly suspicious. They think that Sakuya's kind of French maid outfit is weird. Sakuya looks like this. I can't really put it into chat, or I can't really put it on the screen, but I can do it here. Why does it have to be tomorrow? See, they know about the mist. Because, like, a lot of people might turn for the worst if we suddenly make it thick tomorrow. So he's like, why are you worrying? What we were told to do. Sakuya wants to buy a whole lot of vegetables. Like, just a lot. She has just been volunteered to carry 30 pounds of vegetables. Plus rice. Marissa says, it's my treat. Alice says, give my purse back, please. Notoria is not really used to being around humans. But she has just seen Kaine and Raimu. Marissa lets her know that they're looking for a shrine maiden that's not Raimu, which shouldn't be around. Because there's only one shrine here, and it's only got one maiden, and it's her. Raimu doesn't take it seriously. Kaine, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce her last name, Kaine Kamashirasawa. I guarantee I will not remember that. I just call her Kaine. She is a teacher. She is also Hakutaku, which is like a wear bowl thing. Wear some kind of horned bovine. But she's human most of the time. Humanish. Raimu and Alice know each other, although they haven't seen each other lately. Raimu's like, why are you gathering characters? What she's saying is true. The Shrine Maiden, which is Raimu, usually handles the problems. in Gensokyo. They came here to gather information. They didn't get anything useful. They're looking for a. Marissa's looking for a suspicious maid. Well, there's a suspicious maid. She's got to have a suspicious boss. What if it's a stray maid with no boss? They have found the maid. Who just barges up and starts asking questions? No, that's usual for Marissa. Have you seen anyone suspicious? Suspicious is arbitrary. Hello. We're starting stage 3. We are investigating a mysterious mist that shows up. It is red. Spooky. This is the Halloween. The Halloween arc comes first. We have found a suspicious maid and her suspicious person who is carrying around 60 pounds of food for her. 30 pounds of vegetables and 30 pounds of rice. These are definitely not suspicious people. How'd our cover get blown? Well, it wasn't. They know everything. They're leaving. So we're going to fight them. So this is the first of the stages that is shared between the two characters. I'm playing Marissa, but no matter whether you're playing Marissa or Raimu, they have met up at this point. They are here. So now we can look at the two characters we didn't have before, which is Raimu, who's the other protagonist. I'm on upgrade, not status. Hold on. There we go. Raimu, who is very fast, like very fast, especially with Shrine Maiden, which boosts her evasion, Instinct, which boosts her evasion as her HP goes down, and Streaming, which reduces damage while grazing. Raimu is probably one of the fastest characters in the game. Certainly she is when she gets leveled up a bit and gets some more of her abilities. But she's just really fast. Her attacks are good. I mean, they're not as good as Marissa's because Marissa's all about power, but they're solid. She has quite a lot of them. She does have a finisher, although it is short range, unlike most of her attacks. So it's a little awkward to use it first. It is at least post-move. And Kaine, who is the Hakutaku, So anyone standing next to Kaine gets more experience. That's her starting personal skill. So you weren't here when I explained this. Unlike Super Robot Wars, you have the normal skill slots, and then you have unique skills, character skills. You get these while leveling. Can I look at? No, I can't. Okay. So you get these while leveling, and they are unique to the character. You can switch between them at any intermission. And some of them are very weird, although early on they're not that weird. The weird ones come later. But some of them change completely how the character works, or give abilities that aren't available in other ways. Kaine also has a really good attack in Headbutt. It's barrier piercing. It is post move. It is also range 1, and unfortunately it requires a lot of MP and also 120 will. Or power, excuse me. So we won't be seeing that one too much. Simply because it's hard to use. I had mentioned them before, but you weren't here. We also have Marissa, who is all about the power. Her unique one right now is Danmaku Power 1. She has powerful attacks. Narrow Spark's a little hard to use because it's not post-move and it's 4 to 6. Which is kind of awkward positioning given her other attacks are shorter than that. Especially if you've been leaning on Magic Missile. Trying to use Narrow Spark and Magic Missile at the same time is a little fussy. She will obviously get better attacks. There are several tiers of upgrades for characters. Nitori is the first support character. She has Extending Arm, which lets her use items on units that are further away from her. She also has Repair. She can heal people. Her attacks are so-so, but she does have support attack and support defense. So she's a really good support character. That's important at this point in the game. Less important later, but for the first point in the game, you are pretty limited on a number of characters. So it's good. Then you have Alice. This is an example of one of the character defining abilities. She has the ability to spend MP and create dolls. Kurai has support defend and Shanghai has support attack. They are fairly fragile. They don't live very long, but she can spend her MP on that. And most of her attacks don't use MP, like doll placement and artful sacrifice are both on ammo. So it's a little bit less of a concern if she blows like 40 MP on making a support attack doll. Can I change? I can, okay. So her other ability is Duplex Barrier, which reduces damage taken by all attacks by 500. This is mutually exclusive with Yokai Buster. I'm actually going to put it on because the bosses here are not yokai. They're human. So, swap it, and now she has a barrier. See, there it is. Duplex barrier. And Kaine's other ability is Charge, which gives her more movement when focused. I'm going to leave it as is right now. Kaine also has more hit points than most characters and more defense. She's the highest defense, highest hit points. She's an okay tank. She doesn't have a lot of defensive spirits at this point, and at this point she has none. But she also has, here you can see her move 5-4. That's really good focus movement. So more on focus in a moment. I'm going to save here, and then I'm going to deploy. What's the objective? So the victory is attack Sakuya. You don't have to kill her, you just have to hit her. Defeat is having Sakuya reach the goal, or everyone dies. And bonus is to cast 5 spirit commands. So I'll just be pumping those. So two things that are different from Super Robot Wars, I'm going to point out right now. You see here, there's a cost. Every unit has a cost visible up here. And when you have more units than you have spaces to deploy in, or when you have more units than deploy everybody, it's actually limited by cost rather than number. So worse units have a lower cost. Like Notori is only 2.0 instead of 2.5. They usually go for about 1.5 to 4. There are a couple characters that are below 1.5, but in special cases, and there's some combined characters are over 4. But we don't have any of those yet. So the other thing. So we have to catch Sakuya before she gets away. We don't have to fight Mei-Ling this level. Oh yeah, there are fairies on this level. Cherno is I think 1 point. I think Cherno is 1.5. I know there's the joke, and there are other. They do use the joke in other ways, but I think she's 1.5. Plop. Time to excel. None of us have excel. So the other thing that is one of the other things that is very different from Super Robot Wars is certain enemies that are labeled with D here have Danmaku. Danmaku fields give a defense and an evade penalty and a movement penalty to any ally in them. And they stack when they overlap. So you have here, it's this one is like minus 36 defense and minus 42 evade and 0.78 movement, and it does add up. I mean, some of it's even worse than that. I mean, the max overstack is twice that almost. But what you can do is you have an ability called Focus. When you're focused, you ignore all these penalties. You don't take any Danmaku penalties at all. Instead, you are slower. Most characters have a focused move of about half their regular move. Some characters slow down less. Kaine has 5 and 4, which is quite good for focused movement. So you move slower, and also instead of dodging, you graze. When you would otherwise evade an attack, you take a percentage of the damage equal to the hit rate on you. So if you have a 20% chance to be hit, and you're in focus mode, you have a 20% chance to just take full damage because you got hit, and an 80% damage to take 20% of the damage. But you're not taking any penalties for being in this shit. And there's a lot of it. This is the stage that teaches you about trying to move through Danmaku. So it's... Wait, where's one of my characters? I'm short one. Did I forget to deploy someone? Yeah, I forgot to deploy Alice. Okay, I got to start this one over. Oh, yep, I left Alice right off. Alice, get in there, please. That's on me. Just fast forward it. All right, there we go. So you can focus on or focus off. I'm gonna. The whole point in this is just to get to Sakuya. You have to hit her once. So I'm just gonna motor into you. You don't have Excel yet. Why did you say you had Excel? You literally do not. So normally so far I've been able to take my time on stages. This is the first stage that has had a timer, which is not my favorite. Unfortunately, her power thing is not here right now. So she can't do her special abilities. But now we can start moving through this shit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop unique Hurai doll. Hurai is the defense. Sure. So in the original version, the non-complete box of this, Kadama actually had quite a lot to say. But they took it out for the complete box when they wanted to sell it on the Switch, because what they said was quotes from actual robot shows, sometimes in copyright infringing ways. So they don't have that anymore. We will have to do without. So here is Ryman. Yeah, so originally this game was released in 4 different fan games over the course of about 10 years. And I've actually played the first 2 of them, 2 and a bit. Oh, there's Excel. Anyway, and then they released Complete Box, which was all of them at once, using a system based on the most recent one, which is what we're using here. And then they finally released it now in English. Well, I guess tomorrow. This is Complete Box. It's not called Complete Box because we never had any other version, so I guess they didn't feel like it. So what I'm going to try to do here is blow a hole past this ferry so I can send an Excel Marissa through the hole. How does focus interact with... Okay, it still gives you 3. That's good. And then when this was announced, it was actually a very big surprise to most people that they were going to finally give it a week. You're going to have to hurry up here. Do you have Excel? No, of course not. Kind of if you... I have to do it. I hate using that much MP just to hit. But I gotta. I gotta get through. So before I rush in, I'm going to have you unfocus. Move up here. Heal Marissa. Almost reach. I haven't seen your kick attack. I'm protagonisting here. Kadama are pretty much the shittiest of the low tier enemies. I can finally use Narrow Spark. It's serious o'clock. Why do you have so many lasers? All right. So I need Kaine to use Trust on Marissa so she doesn't fucking die. I'm going to use Witch Ley Lines because it has a lot of hit rate. Oh, you can't hit her. All right, she's got Private Square, of course. So Sakuya, I forgot to actually look at Sakuya. Sakuya's gimmick, as all maids do, her superpower is that she can stop time. That is the thing that all maids can do. When she uses Defender Evade, she dodges. Full stop. That's what Private Square does. If she chooses not to attack back on her turn, she can't be hit. That is not what Private Square does when I get it, for fairly obvious reasons. But it is what Private Square does when the enemy has it. It's not quite as good for us. Of course, in this form, she's also missing most of her attacks. She doesn't have anything but melee. She also gets bonus SP when she kills, at least at high power. She has Pattern, which is counter, so she gets a counter attack first. She gets more Evade when she's at high power, and she has Parry. She also has a spell card. We'll get to those in a moment, because I'm almost certainly going to trigger one. No, I want to save. Quick save. There we go. Thank you. No, I don't want to suspend. All right. There we go. So I'm going to use Witch Ley Line because it's cheaper and it's not going to hit anyway. Gotcha. Nope. So this is a spell card. Spell cards are the other unique thing about FMW, which is this is how bosses are threatening. We'll get to that in a moment. As Marissa says, you can't avoid spell card effects in focus mode, except for a few that you can, but they will say that. You have two options. You can kill her, or you can wait for it to run. You can kill her health bar, or you can wait for it to run out of time. Sleight of hand misdirection is the one she's using. What this one does is accuracy rate -40, but some of them, again, have weirder abilities than this. This is kind of your intro to spell cards. But this is what bosses do to make themselves threatening. They will, when you run them out of hit points, they will refill their hit points and pull a spell card, which changes the rules. This, as I said, is a very simple one with hit rate -40. Note that you can attack her from outside of that, and it's fine. You have to be in the bubble to get the penalty. Some also have very strange patterns. This one is just radiating from her. This was from the first game, so things are pretty simple. The first 15 stages or so, I think, are from FMW1, which is old. Anyway, we're going to put these people back into focus so we can clear out the fairies. Oh, you don't have to be at it. What's the range on 3 treasure sword? That was like 3. Cool. 3 treasure sword is a better range than I thought it did. Thanks, Notori. Everyone gone? Yep. Okay, good. So this will absolutely murder Marissa if it hits. These flames are a rough indication of how much damage they do. You see 3 of them. If it hits, you dead. So I can evade it so that she doesn't quite die. And that is, in fact, what I'm going to do. Also note that Sakuya now has actual attacks. She doesn't just use melee anymore. She's using misdirection now, which is the name of the attack. Or the name of the spell card. Usually when enemies declare a spell card, they get new attacks based around it. So here's... I'm the head maid. So I can be you, then I get to be the head maid. Again, if you stand outside the bubble, you don't get the accuracy penalty, although she still gets to hit you. I'm going to turn on focus. I'm not sure I'm going to capture this spell card, kill it, but I'm sure going to give it a shot. I did save before the spell card started, so... Am I focused? No. Okay, good. I don't have to be focused for this. The maid Alice is referring to is from a much older game. I'd say fine work, but I'd be lying. How many attacks do you have on that? Okay, so you just have attack and misdirection, which does have ammo, although I don't think it's actually possible to run it out at this point. I don't think I have enough targets to run it out. hold on. I gotta check. Is there an options here? No? Okay, I can't open options here. Here we go. Nope, okay. I was seeing if I could set it to show the hit point bars all the time instead of when I hold Y. But if there is a way, I don't know how. I'm just going to get out of the bubble. I'm just going to run down here where it's slightly safer. Sure, why not? Unlike the fairies from last stage, Sakuya does not regenerate, so you can chip her down. I don't actually think we're going to kill her before time runs out. Maybe if I get really lucky. Which one is first pyramid? Parried. Okay. I don't know what I was expecting. That's a pyramid. Oh yeah, okay, no. She's we're not getting through that. I'm gonna time it out. I'm just gonna run away. And she leaves. That counts as a victory. Timing out spell cards is actually, by a fair margin, sometimes much easier. And every once in a while, you get one that's you just want to get rid of it right now. And there's a few that you're not allowed to time out. They just have a timer of infinity. Now we know that there are suspicious people around because we've seen Sakuya and Maiden. The mist isn't natural because Maiden suggested that someone was behind it. They have to have a base because Maiden was carrying food home. Notorious decided to hang around with us a bit longer. and the group splits up. You do lose party members at this point, so everybody else leaves. Marissa decides to stop for mushrooms on the way home. Can't find any. That's a Kadama, not a spore. Marissa has decided to catch it. She has failed. Marissa's run into a tree trying to catch the Kadama. But she found some mushrooms, so it's fine. Romelia is Sakuya's boss, as you might be able to tell. They're looking for the mist. They may even arrive here. Romelia is kind of interested. Unknown person. So unknown they won't even show you a picture. Like a half picture. Romelia is the one spreading the mist for the full moon coming up. We have 3 days. We don't know it, but we have 3 days. It will be permanently night. Back at home. The Kadama followed us home anyway. Just floating, watching. Giant fluff ball. Marissa wants to keep it as a pet because it followed her home. Here she has a net. Much easier to catch. And now the Kadama has been put in the mushroom bottle. Tori, of course, picks through all of Marissa's stuff. The source of the Scarlet Mist lies beyond the lake in the Scarlet Mansion. Might as well be nice to it until I change my mind. I don't think it lets me do the next map. I think that's the end. Yeah, that's the end of the demo. All right. So that's that. Took a couple hours. We've done the first 3 stages of the game. The first 2 stages are different for Raimu. The third one is the same. The full game comes out tomorrow. I think it comes out fairly late because it comes out in Japan time. So if I stream tomorrow, and I might, it will be at about the same time. It will be at about 10 or 11 Eastern. I haven't yet decided if I will. Monday is normally my tabletop night, but we're off this week, so I might. And if I do, it will be at about the same time. So I will see you folks around. That's all for now. Have a good one.